All right, looks like the live stream is up. There are actually some people, SWL, reporting that they are shaking, so we'll get a little bit going on with that. You are listening, and we hope you are listening to what is known as the Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen?
Greetings to you.
Wherever you are, for music and the latest news from home and from afar, the station for you is
OTR, Old Tube Radio.
The station for you is
OTR.
The station for you, OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network, here tonight, as almost always on a Saturday evening. Oops, the J38 key doesn't want to stay keyed up. There we go. On a Saturday evening, 27085, Channel 11, here in the Central Valley where the swimming pool is not rocking, and the water's not sloshing out, and the chair seems to be pretty good. The swag lamps aren't swinging, but for those of you to the east or to the west and to the south, it might be a little bit different with some earthquakes going on. I think, where's 111? He was predicting this. He was predicting this on his Facebook page. Hi, my name is Dennis, your net control for the evening. One of the many net controls that have been sitting in the air chair here for the last 35 years on the Old Tube Radio Network, where on a Saturday evening in the Central Valley of California, we try and recreate the sound that you might have heard if indeed you were to turn on your old tube radio. At that time, it would have been your new tube radio, 1962 or 1973. We have our great collectors ready and waiting and warming up some tube radios for you. The SWLs are listening in, whether it's at oldtuberadio.net, the digital listeners, the YouTube video, or perhaps on the air. This is not a club, just an association of people interested in old tube radios, so there is no secret handshakes, there is no dues. You don't even have to have an old tube radio, but we're glad you are out there. So what we do first, before we get to the radios, is our checking in, the roll call of our shortwave listeners. And I've got the top of the page here looking for 00. I don't know, maybe he's shaking up there too. We'll get a check-in for SWL number 1, Dr. J, and then we will go over to Mr. OBP, who is out on the video side, reporting that we have, 13 sunspots. So that's 13, or the sunspot number is 13. So that means there's probably at least 1, maybe 2. Maybe we'll get some DX tonight. Thanks, Kevin, for checking in. SWL3. I've got a note to check in, Rob, from the Facebook page, SWL number 4. SWL 5.
00.
And 00. Hi, Paul. Get you checked in. Can you hear me okay up there? Over.
Yeah, you were talking, and all of a sudden you stopped talking. Your lips are moving, but I couldn't hear you. I don't know what was going on. But we're on here. 00, checking in.
Well, usually it's I'm talking and my brain isn't moving, so that's something different. Maybe that's an improvement. You're sounding great, and I got you checked in.
Thanks, Danny.
Let's see. I did not see Ida this week. I'm going to give her a proxy check-in. I didn't realize I had not seen her. Let's try SWL 6. SWL 7. And I've got a proxy. Ed said to proxy him in. He may be in late, so we'll change that to an X in the square. Over we go. Let's see, up to Idaho. Is there, you have earthquakes up that way? Chrissy is in. 10 is checking in. Things are shaking here in various parts of California. Thanks for listening in. Over to SWL 13. SWL 14. SWL 15. 15's out in Eastontown. I think they have their own special fault. It's just for them. SWL 16 And Charlie is in. He was in early, helping us set up as always. So things seem pretty good, except for my teeth and my tongue, I guess. But radio stuff is behaving tonight. The Jingle Singers seemed like they were okay, so we'll see what happens. Thanks, Charlie from Minnesota. Let's go to SWL 17. SWL 18. SWL 19. Yeah, I'm checking because sometimes Chet comes in at a strange zip code. I don't see the usual ones, so maybe he is. I don't know if he's a contester or not. There's the North America QSO party going on. That's a big one. Plus, there's the VHF UHF the winter contest going on. So a lot of people might be out there contesting. We'll check in and see how they're doing. SWL 20.
That's a nice one. Okay, number 20 here. Please check in 29 and 54, and I'll be back later.
Okay, the radio sounds loud. It seems to want to do what it should be doing, so we'll talk about it when we start glowing in the dark after the roll call. Thanks. Let's see, where are we going? SWL 21. That's Mr. JT out in the South Carolina, the Wasama Swamps. I always worry about JT. He's got the world's longest ground rod, and I'm thinking when he's... See, we can't do that here on the West Coast. We cannot pound in the mile-long ground rod because it could activate. It could activate a fault. I want to see. Let me see where our audio is tonight. If I've got anything from the old radio night tonight, I'm just going to press the button. I haven't even listened. Sometimes it takes a while for it to come in. Here it is.
Yeah, I just had to prime the pump there. Yeah, I am 21. I just had to get in there and prime the pump there. No doubt about it.
He doesn't.
Hello out there, my CB friend, 21 in the Kakalaki, getting on down.
He doesn't have to prime the pump. If you listen to the old radio night, which happens probably, I don't know the official time, but here on the West Coast, it's like 5 p.m. and it goes on. All heck is breaking loose on whatever frequency he turns his dial to. I don't know if that's because of the reverse preamp. Tonight it was a Galaxy Saturn and the undisclosed reverse preamp, but it's organized chaos, I guess is what it is. That is JT, DD21 over on Old Radio Night, and we've got you checked in from the Wasama Swamp. Over to SWL 22. SWL 23, I did see, let's go up to 20, let me scroll up. If I can get the right mouse here. 23 Skidoo, Mitch was in there. So 10, 15 minutes ago, earthquake just rumbled through. 4.5 just a few miles south of me. Sounded like a train rolling through with some up and down movement for a few seconds. All is well, no damage. That's how you can tell you're close. You actually hear it. I've been in enough of those, especially in Southern California, where you hear it coming. You hear that, and then boom, and then as it the shock wave rolls away. If it's like that, you are very close. So, I think Larry said one was close your way. All right, well, looks like the antenna is still up and the power is still on. So we're checking you in, Mitch. Thanks. SWL 24. SWL 25.
Hello, Dennis, 25, checking in.
If things aren't shaken out that way, are they?
Not that I know of. Well, I don't know, did we have a shaker today?
Well, not so much here in the Central Valley, which we don't feel them that much unless they're real big somewhere else or something's happening in Coalinga. Usually you don't feel anything unless they start galloping the horses over there at D&D Ranch.
That's right, unless it's feeding time for the cattle, and then, of course, that'll make the earth shake a little bit. Anyway, nope, nothing, all calm here. Anyway, thanks, Dennis.
All right, you're sounding good, and we've got you checked in, and we will get 74 as well. Then we're heading over to SWL 27. I'm looking over at the crossband radio here. I don't hear Dwayne. Let's head up to, I wonder if he felt anything coming in Sacramento, SWL 28, Gary. Watching foosball and rooting for the water boy. That's exactly what I do. I'm done with the underdogs. I want the beyond the underdogs. All right, Gary, we've got you checked in, and he's rooting for a full list of tube radios. I can go for that too. Thanks, Gary, for checking in. Over to SWL 29, we'll get a proxy in for Mr. Loner. Back up to Idaho, beautiful Idaho, where the earthquakes are few and far between. Dwayne got you checked in tonight, out there in the RFI portion of our show tonight. Gary says he didn't feel a thing. So yeah, it was kind of south and west. We're just hearing booms around here. I'm not feeling anything. SWL 31. Let me see who's out there. It's Robert and Teresa in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Let's start up in the balcony. Who is out there tonight? Woodland Park, Colorado. Sunspots could have some conditions tonight. We'll be listening. The unknown SWL. You somebody with a rubber duck antenna and a paper bag over the head up there in the balcony. That's the unknown SWL. Hello to Seaside, Kerman, Dallas, Georgia, Boulder Creek. Let's see, Boulder Creek. You guys have fires, probably earthquakes too. Squamish, BC might have some conditions for the Albert and all the gang out that way tonight. We'll have to see. Who else is in there? San Francisco, Mox Corner, South Carolina, Fairfax, Virginia, coming up to you. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kenny's checking in. We'll get you in just a bit. There's Anoka. Bill is in the front row tonight. He was helping us out also. Hooking things up tonight. Thanks, Bill, for that. We'll be getting to you soon. SWL 32. SWL 33. Myself, Bozo Control. The Jingle Singers, who seem to be okay tonight. I haven't really jumped through tonight. We'll check in with Bob and Steve show in Ohio and see what's up to in the green room tonight when you all check in. Over to SWL 34. That's Jimmy Fielder, who runs about, 12 dozen Facebook pages. I don't know how he does it. Let me see if I've got it. Can I put it into the queue here? I have a picture or a link of 34. I think it's it here. Yeah, there it is. Let me pop that up. Of 34 standing with the 2 tons of Browning radios. For those who are listening, and got a picture of JF there with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3, 8 times 4, like 30 or so of the big Brownings, the rare Brownings, the old Brownings, and I don't know, that might not be all of them anyway. Mr. Railroader, we've got you checked in wherever you are out there in Chicago. Thanks for helping out with the Old Tube CB Radio Facebook page. Let's head over to SWL 35, back to the SWL list. Mr. Bill, who was checking in last night on the Ditch Banks sideband net and looking good. And I'm seeing if we've got Bill in there. He might have been in earlier. I don't see him at the moment. But you know he's going to be there. Let's try SWL 36. The right video on here. SWL 37.
SWL 37. Good evening, Dennis.
And hello, Chris. 37 is checked in. Probably, have you got the popcorn and the movie ready tonight?
we just picked some up the other day. I haven't pulled it out yet to pop none, but you're making me think. I just got through eating a piece of banana bread, but the popcorn does sound pretty dang good. Now that you mention it.
Well, get out the popper or the bag and make some. You are sounding good, and we've got you checked in.
All right, thank you, Dennis.
SWL 38. SWL 39. SWL 40.
Yeah, SWL 40 here. I'm looking at the Did You Feel It response map of the earthquake near Watsonville, and it was felt as far as Salt Lake City, and then San Diego, northern Nevada, and Eureka, and most just covered, most of the Bay Area felt it, and even near Carson City, Sacramento, and even we got a response here in Fresno.
And what time was this, and where was it at?
It was at 8. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. 7:19, I believe.
This evening?
Yes.
Right. Now they did some. One of the looking on there was one by Mammoth Lakes up there, so I don't know.
Yeah, Mammoth is always good for a few shakers. Mitch, who is out that way, he's showing up it's Boulder Creek, but it's not close. He said it's maybe downgraded to 4.2. They've already had smaller aftershock, and he did feel the rocking and rolling. So as long as they stay small, that's good. We got you checked in, Larry. Let's go over to SWL 41. And, you know what? While I'm on the page, let me get Mr. Bill checked in. He's right at the top of my comments on the other screen over at oldtuberadio.net. Hello, Bill. Sorry for missing you on the first go-around, but I see you just fine. So we got you checked in. And there is SWL 41, Road Dog 507, checking in from beautiful Hudson Valley, New York. Saying hello to Net Control and all the Old Tube Radio operators and SWLs. Thanks, 41, got you checked in. And let's see, the 4.2 at 8:01 p.m. that was the one at Aromas, which is probably what he felt. I've got a check-in. Let's see, if I got a proxy, I guess, for SWL 42. SWL 43. Let's see, I got a proxy Crazy Eddie in too. SWL 44. The guy that checked in is 00. Hello, Paul.
Yeah, I can hear you this time. 45.
All right, all parts are working. The mouth, the brain, and the voices going out somewhere. Beaconing it out somewhere here tonight. Got you checked in to 45. Let's also get SWL 44, who I know 44 was listening into Old Radio Night. I don't see him on the thing. Let me just stop talking. Maybe he's out there. Hello, Ray. All right, don't hear Ray. I will check Paul in. Jimmy is waving a hand. Let me go back to the picture. There he is. There's the guy with what is it? 3 dozen of the classic Brownings, old, new, rare, unobtainiumed, and ready to go. Maybe the whole selection, the whole line. I don't know. Pretty cool. Jimmy, we got you checked in. Thanks for all the assistance, all the stuff you do on the Old Tube CB Radio Network page. way out there in Batavia near Chicago. 45 is in. How about SWL 46? SWL 47. SWL 48.
SWL 48, checking in, Dennis.
Hey, KP, sounding good from near Madera Town. Sam, we've got you checked in the old tube radio network. Over.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
Sounding good. Boy, Sam's sounding good tonight. Gonna get the X in the square, and let's see if we're still making it through on the Collins mechanical filter, SWL 49.
Hey, beaming across the great San Joaquin, this is Mr. 49er, the Gold Digger, waving and wishing everybody well. Thank you for the check-in.
Sounding good. Gold Digger, Sweet Country Mama, we have got you checked in. 49 looking good on the old tube radio network. Thanks. Oh, that's weird. My receive is going weird. SWL 50. Doesn't sound like conditions. SWL 51.
SWL 51, checking in.
In Sangertown, where everything is beautiful. They don't even have, you guys don't even have a Richter scale out there because you know you don't get earthquakes.
If we do, I sure as hell don't know where it's at, but I didn't feel nothing. But it's all over the net now, news.
You know, they were sort of waiting for this in 2020, so maybe it's a 2021 thing. Just when you thought it was safe, right? Thanks for checking in.
10-4, Dennis. Have a good evening.
SWL 52. SWL 53.
SWL 53. Good evening there, Dennis.
And good evening, Mr. Bel Air. I've got you with the X in the square. You're sounding good.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll turn the page. Let me run up, see who's joined the orchestra, who's joined the choir, as it were. Hello, Charlie. Let me bring up page 1 and get. Oh, no, we did get you. Okay. 16 is in. 28 is in. All right. We've got reruns already. I am going to check in on page 3. Mr. Board Jammer. How about SWL 55?
55, checking in.
And we have you sounding good here in the Flatlands. Thanks for checking in.
Proxy 65 in the appropriate time, please.
Will do. No problem.
Thank you.
Over to SWL 56.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. 56, just for kicks.
All right, we're hoping to get a couple of tube radio kicks tonight. You're looking good. You know, I thought I saw your call come up. I've been doing some APRS stuff on a screen, and I could have recalled it. It's like, I thought I saw your call show up, and I'm thinking, that's odd. There's somebody's tracking you. Anyway, we've got you tracked here on the old tube radio network.
Well, Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis.
Well, I've got a different radio now that has that feature, and so I'm still trying to figure it all out. But yeah, that's me.
All right, cool. I guess if it's the Google page, you go to the Google APRS. You got to kind of slog through and scroll it down to Central California. You might, if you're beaconing, you might see that. You might see another familiar call and some other things. All right, we'll talk. We'll see what's going on with that. I've got a new thing here too as well that does that kind of stuff. So good. We got you checked in all over the place. At least that part of it is working. Over to SWL 57. BDA, Brown Dog Audio from Central Kentucky. Let's see, acquired a new piece today, Hallicrafters S85 for $50. Very excited to be on the hunt for matching HT30. The 30 would be the transmitter. I have a 37. In fact, I've even checked that in, but it's down. The HT37 on the floor is not a good place to have it because it weighs about 85 pounds. It's going to be a bear to get that back up on the table. But I've got a 37. I think the matching one for that was the SX111. So let's see. I'll make a note. I'm gonna, what is it? S85. All right. We'll find a shot of an S85 here. Sounds cool. The Hallicrafters are great. Great receivers. Great receivers. So I'm not familiar with the 85. I know the 99s and the 101s and the ones with the huge S meters, like the Tram. All right, good stuff there, 57. Yeah, it'd be cool if you could find the matching TX to go with it. Thanks. Thanks for checking in. Here's a guy that probably has no radio table space for the HT30 or the SX85, SWL 58.
SWL 58 here. Good evening, Dennis in the net. The table space is at a premium now. I don't know. We were playing contest today, and it was kind of hit and miss, but it's good to hear everybody on OTR. And other than that, not much traffic out here in Biola. Over.
Very good. Yeah, it is the QP, North America QSO party. So I think it's just North America. I was trying to look at the rules, and it said something about like multi-op and single-op. And is it, I don't know if you know, is it true it was only 100 watts?
Well, there's there's high power 2 on it, and then depending on if you run assisted or unassisted, changes like category you can apply to whether you're single operator or multi-operator. And the multipliers are just North America, well, and Canadian provinces. So it's a pretty good contest. There was definitely a lot of people on. I spent some time on 20, calling CQ, and the band got very, very busy. But that's a good time. So something to do during the COVID. But that's about it. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate what you do.
All right, yeah, and it's a lot of it's a short contact. It's like your name and your state. So anybody that's wanting to get their feet wet in a contest, that's not a bad one to do because it's just North American. I'm assuming people aren't kind of jumping all over to get that DX contact. I heard you on 20. I was looking at this is my note napkin. You were talking, you made a contact with K0EU. He's checking his log to see if he's got K0EU in the log. I think that's what I heard. I think it was you. Also, while we have this opportunity, if you are around on Friday evenings, the Ditch Banks sideband net happens here in Central California on 36 lower, 27,365. And it's a roll call kind of thing, but it's opened up to anybody, visitors, skip land when it happens. So check that out on 8 p.m. Pacific regular time. Let me see if I got audio from that just quickly here. Pressing the button. Did I turn it down? Oh, is it turned down here? There should be some audio coming through. There it is.
All right, thanks for being there, Dean. Got the X in the square. And we'll try operator 449, Smitty, Southeast Fresno.
You're up, Smitty.
He's going to check in twice tonight.
Hello, net control, and hello all around. Mr. Smitty here, 449er, is checking in, and as always, wishing you fellas a fantastic evening.
Not bad, and he runs when he can. He runs the SDR video, so you can kind of see your signal and give yourself not only give yourself a signal report, but also see what's going on. That's the Ditch Bank sideband. And you know, Jeremy actually sounds better than I do. I'm listening to the headphones. He sounds better than I do over my radio. I don't know how he does that. Next up is SWL 59. SWL 60.
Thank you, Dennis. Evening time to you and all the fellows out there. SWL 60, checking in. I guess my new radio. Periodically we'll be on this Stryker 955, so checking it in for the first time.
Yeah, it's good. Nice, smooth AM audio. Could QSO all night on that one, and sounding good, and we've got it archived here at the Old Tube Radio Network, so you can hear the playback whenever you want. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis.
Then we head over to SWL 61.
61, checking in, Dennis.
Looking good on the S meter, sounding good on the audio. Thank you, Dean. We've got you checked in.
Thanks, sir.
SWL 62. SWL 63. I'm checking. I know Butterbean out there in North Georgia was on Old Radio Night tonight. I'll get you checked in if you were listening somewhere and I've missed you, but I saw you tonight, heard you tonight on the Old Radio Night. How about SWL 64? SWL 65. We got to check in for Eric up in the hills. All right, 65. SWL 66. And SWL 67, that's Bill in Canby, Oregon, who was with us early tonight helping set up. And also listening to the wacky, I guess you call it the wacky pre-show here on the Old Tube Radio Network. Over to SWL 68. SWL 69. Kenny's also there. He may have checked out. It's late in Tulsa, but he was on earlier listening in. And Kenny, if you're watching the replay or still out there, we do have you checked in. Thanks for listening, and we miss you out here. Over to SWL 70. SWL 71 is Stan in Dallas, Georgia. Let me go back to the page because I saw a note from Mr. Announcer. Oh, he's working the NAQP. Stan is one of those. He's one of those contesters that he's stealthy. He's probably like number 2 all the time on the DX list, but you'd never know it. He'll sneak up on you. Let's see, what was he doing tonight? QSO's into 6 land, and he's in. He's in 4 land in Dallas, Georgia. I was hearing a lot of when I was on 20 meters. A lot of 3 calls and 2 calls. I guess it was the time that I was on. I don't know. Are they contesting now?
So, man, that's exactly it, dude. You know. Yeah, no.
This is. I don't think they're. There's a kind of rag showing. That's 75 meters. And on 40.
This is 2 meters.
Yeah, that's 2 meters. So I don't hear a thing. I don't hear a thing on 40 there. There's somebody. That's a short contact. Give us a CQ, NACQP here. Well, that's as good as we're going to do on the contest tonight. That's why I never show up on QST. Okay, Stan, good luck. Good luck on the contest. Over to SWL 72.
6 VLF.
SWL 73.
Give 73 a proxy there, okay, 6 VLF.
Yeah, 73, that's John, and I'm sure he's in the other contest, the VHF contest, and he does. John consistently shows up in QST, usually as a single op QRP guy, so he's out there trying to get into the book. We got to check in for SWL 74, SWL 75, SWL 77.
Yeah, good evening, Dennis. And 73 is all the listeners. 77 on the old Tower of Power. Checking it.
The Tower of Power is definitely beaconing. Sounds good, and we've got you checked in.
Thank you.
SWL 78. Trying to get my clicker to work here. Where is Where's Wildemar tonight? I'll have to see if he's checked in. Oh, I see somebody beaconing from the up there in the balcony. Aha. Okay. Well, maybe that's why things are running good tonight. I think Chet was working on all the lighting up there, because I noticed it actually looks like you could see where you were going up on the balcony tonight. Hello, 19, up there in Belfast, Maine. I was going to say I didn't see you earlier, but we had enough people to help us set up. But he was up. If you notice, it's perfectly lit and nice and tidy up in the balcony tonight. That's thanks to SWL 19. 79's not in. 78 and 79. Are you there, Philip? He checked in earlier, but just seeing if you're there.
79, checking in.
All right, checking in here on the AM site. Sounding good. And then SWL 80. All right, we'll head over to page 4, but before I do that, as we often do, let me head over and check in with the Bob and Steve show, the Ohio crew. And we have where's the special announcer for them? I always have to find them here. Here we go. The Bob and Steve show.
27.085 OTR channel 11.
What is going on tonight? The next thing is Jingle Singers will honor Martin Luther King. The next thing is they want to start the poker tournament again. It's the MLK, the holidays Monday, right, on the 18th, on Tuesday nights in the green room. We can open Tuesday. I don't know. We used to have some type of discount Fridays, but so the poker tournament on Tuesdays in the green room. Popcorn on the balcony tonight is from Bob and Steve. Okay, that's why he's up there. So all your efforts are going to be for naught, because they've got popcorn up there. So Chet, I see why you showed up late tonight. He's going to be cleaning up popcorn all night on that balcony. Also, they want to get the bean bag toss tournament. It has been a long time since I have done a bean bag toss. I can't even say it. When I was in the Cub Scouts, we had a lot of bean bag tosses into like frog mouths and clown mouths and things like that. So I don't know what they've got. Probably it's a tube radio or something. So the bean bag toss tournament, you've got to sign up by next week. I'm going to sign up for that. That is my speed. Costco gift cards. Wait a minute. Maybe not on the Costco gift cards. I'll have to check on that. And at the bar tonight from Florida, Key Lime Pie and Coffee. I will definitely be over in the green room tonight. Thank you, Bob and Steve. Then we do page 4, SWL 81, Steve Areno, the ever-popular unicorn. By the way, if you're playing the home game, you should be putting X's in at 1/16/2021. That is the 5th week in this roster. And Steve, from the secret location, beaconing from the secret location, we got you checked in. SWL 82.
82 checking in.
I think Ron is in the secret location tonight. Usually he's in the ditch banks, but I'm not sure. I have to point my beam a little bit different tonight to pick you up.
Yeah, running QRP here,
So if you hear CQQRP, you know who it is out of the ditch banks. Thank you, Ron.
All right, thanks, son.
And an early check-in for 83, Epimetheus 83, who is getting better. He's got some things going on, but he will be back next week with the X in the Square. Listen to him on Old Radio Night. Tonight, let's head over to Clovistown, SWL 84. SWL 85. rekeying my microphone here the wrong way. Found the J38 key in the slide bar. It keeps slipping over because I hit it with the mouse. Let's see. I will get 84, 86, 87, and 88. The whole gang will get checked in here via proxy according to my notes. SWL 89. SWL 90. A proxy check-in for SWL 90. And Felix, SWL 91, who was in early, helping us set up as well tonight. Felix, we've got you checked in. I wish my checks looked like that. He's got a check box in the comment box. Mine do not look anything like that. In fact, it's more like an X. But I like the check. Let's go to SWL 92. SWL 93. I will get to Louis proxied in. SWL 95. SWL 97. And SWL 98. And he is checking in. You sound like you're in Fresno. I don't think we're getting skipped from Monterey. You probably would have felt a lot less shaken if you were out there.
I didn't feel anything. No, I'm not in Monterey. I'm about 12 or 14 miles from here.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. Hopefully no more aftershocks. Let's see. Did 95 check in? Thank you, Dave. See, Chrissy's talking to 95, but maybe... oh, he's right there. How could I miss Whiskey Romeo 4 Bravo? Out there in the big town of Orlando on the Browning Mark III. You probably won't hear me. Yeah, give a shout. We've got a lot of good receivers out there, but it may be a little difficult here with the sundown. All right. Red Hawk 95 on the Mark III. Who else is out? Paul's in there. Hello, Paul. Paul Vines was checking in. I think I saw you on the old radio night tonight. From 8land, Sierra Mike Uniform, a Kilowatt Bravo. I'm a Kilowatt Bravo. I like that. So he's listening in tonight. Popcorn 913. I've already heard 2 people saying they're going to be enjoying popcorn tonight with something. Sid Vicious is in, listening in on over on the video side. A host of others. Hello to Hank. If he's still in, he's also in Forland in Orlando. First time checking in, Hank. Victor Juliet to Portugal, listening in. Kilowatt Delta. Keith is in Rocky Mountain, Virginia. Boy, I'm going to have to make a rhombic antenna and point it probably east and a little bit south to hit all these Forland stations that kick in. Maybe I'll be able to do that. Keith, looking good on the Old Tube Radio Network. All right, into the triple digits. Let's try SWL 103. SWL 109. SWL 110. Robert 111 was in earlier. I'll just pause here just to see if he was there. Hello, 111. SWL 113. And the hits just keep on coming. I will not pause. SWL 114. That's my punishment. Normally I make him wait. Now he's making me wait.
Break OTR.
The break OTR, go ahead.
Yeah, 114 checking in late.
Hey, not a problem. You are sounding good. The 114 is checked in. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
That's sneaky. Let's head up to over to the digital side, SWL 128. And John says, question mark, is California beginning to slide into the ocean? I hope not. But usually the series of small quakes are relieving a little bit pressure so we don't have one of those big quakes. So we sort of like the 4 points and less. We do not like the 6.5s and better. So far, so good. From Foreland in Fairfax, Virginia, SWL 128. Thank you, John. Let's see, also Rayovac. I don't know if I have any Rayovac batteries. And, if I do, I hope they are actually not in any pieces of equipment. I have to look back at all my old microphones and things from the 1970s. And it would be cool to find a Rayovac battery, but not sitting in the piece of equipment. I don't know. Rayovac batteries are probably pretty good. Maybe they don't leak. Who else did I thought I saw somebody in there. Was it? Yes, it was Johnny Defiant. And hold on, let me find the special JD filter checking in from somewhere. Mr. Johnny Defiant. Oh, that's a little overdone. Those on the internet stream would hear that. I don't see that doesn't go out over the air. The psychoacoustic effects are sequestered to the internet side. Let's try SWL 131. SWL 133.
Good evening, Dennis. 133 checking in.
133. Hello, Dave. Are you a contester, Dave? Do you do any like VHF, UHF, HF stuff?
Not normally. I just always waiting for you. I just got a 40-meter contact in Louisiana, and that's it for me.
Wow. And in fact, here's 40 meters. Dave just talked to, so you've got see, this is a vertical up on the roof. And it's just not hearing anything. Now, of course, that had been, let's go down. You might have been on CW, right? Could have been. Barely hear that? Hey, that's going my speed. $40 meters at 7.060. All right. I'll give you a point anyway here on OTR. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Ben.
Over to SWL 135.
Good evening, Dennis and the net. SWL 135 checking in.
Sounding good in the OTR neighborhood. Thanks for checking in. And I know he is warming up something on the radio. I've got a proxy check-in for SWL 137. And let's see, I want to make sure I don't get myself in trouble here, so I will pay attention to the list. SWL 145, Tony, let me scroll up. I did see Tony checking in. He felt the earthquake in Marina. Can't wait to get home. So I figure you're out west. Start working on the HF power. He's going to 80 offset, high power 80 off center fed dipole antenna. Going to be working on the 101B. So that should be fun. The OFCs do pretty good. Get it up high, it'll work good. Get it low, it'll be NVIS. That'll still work. Going to be working 20 and 40. Well, the contest, there'll be plenty of contests and some contacts. I'll look for you out there on the bands. Tony is checked in. And then over to 147. Let me scroll up because I did see 147 in. The print on that screen is so small and it's so far away. All right. So much for old guy eyes. There he is. There's Neil, 147 in Kakalaki, already checked in, but doing it again. Good skip after 5 p.m. today. Well, we do have some sunspot numbers, according to number 2. 73 around the band from JGQ. All right. You get a point in the OTR contest. Thanks for checking in. Then we go up to SWL 195.
195, checking in, Dennis. Boy, we're sitting on a rock up here. We didn't feel it.
Yeah, we were getting it from both sides. I think you really had to be paying attention on this one, or it was one of those faults that doesn't transmit well. But it was felt around the area. Hopefully that was there'll just be smaller ones from that. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis.
Over to SWL 226, Jeff. And I think he checked in last night on the Ditchbanks net, so I'll get him proxied in. Okay, anybody else needing to check in that I missed, or you're standing by? OTR is listening. Also, before we head over to the tube radios and I get everything set up, let me say hello to, also just checking in, Levon is listening, and hello to you. And I thought I saw, yes, GWD Labs, who is always, he's like our audio guy. So I have to do, let me see here, I have to do the audio check. We'll run around the room here before we go to the tube. So GWD. First, what are we checking? And what can you see? Okay, let's check the boom boom. That's up here on the Aphex. So when you go boom, when you see that little green light, boom boom, hello. Yeah, that's the low frequency boom boom. I know I need some more boom. There we go. Boom boom. All right, there we go. And then the next thing, where are we going? What else can you see? The Vorsys here. That is your downward expander, the compressor, which shouldn't come on unless I shout into the microphone. Not only that, but it shows up with the de-esser as well. Heading over here to the Orban, we're going to check our sizzling sausage. Hello, sizzling sausage on the Orban. We're working good with that. The HF lights are king in, and here is the STL 82 Optimod that is keeping our AGC from splattering on the negative peak. So everything is good. Thank you, GWD. And we'll be back in a moment with those tube radios here on the Old Tube Radio Network. And you are listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
Your Old Tube Radio Network, real radios glowing in the dark, and there should be a few tonight as we head over to the glow-in-the-dark portion of the Old Tube Radio Network and the radio collectors. I hope that wherever you may be listening in from, you had a chance to perhaps key up, or is it key down on your tube radio, or perhaps any radio this week, and get it on the air. That's what we're going to try to do now. The Old Tube Radio Network is listening.
135, 135.
45, 45.
All right, let's start with 135. That is Cliff, Mr. Green Arrow. Jump up into the air chair, and we'll see what you have. And Paul, I hear you loud and clear. And we will get you for Radio 2. So there's some good stuff in the green room tonight. We'll be with you in a few. As we head over to, I just noticed that Bob and Steve said they are listening in on the Utah SDR for the ground movement. I will not forget to feed the fish, and I was actually hearing myself on the Utah SDR the other night. I was checking some 75-meter propagation. It wasn't great. I don't know what kind of antenna that Utah SDR has, but I want it. Hello, Cliff, over.
Hello, Dennis. This is SWL 135 on the Robin. T is in Tango 123 Bravo, as in B. 23 channel Citizens Band transceiver. Let's see, I'm now on green channel 11. It's a very green radio, as I'm sure most people know. The microphone is the standard Little Robin T123B mic. On the back of the mic, it actually says T123B Japan. A small black plastic non-amplified microphone. Range expand is on, and the blue TX light is on, and my mod light is flashing. Back to you.
And the audio is beaconing. For those, let's see, I started off with the picture. The title was wrong, but the one we're showing is a really nice-looking Robin T123. There's the box that it comes in, if anybody's looking. It's a nice green Robin. The Robin, of course, has the green knob inserts and the green stripe across the front. And then I'm going to, let's see, it says, the looks and performance of tomorrow by the designers and engineers of today. Does it say that anywhere on that radio? That's what it says on the box.
Nope, it does not say that on the radio.
All right, the looks and performance of tomorrow by the designers and engineers of today. And the special treat is I actually have, if I do this correctly, a picture. Don't pay attention to that title because it is wrong, which is the one I believe that we are actually hearing. This is from the collection of 135. There is the microphonium in front of it. Looks like the Astron power supply is somewhere in the back. It's probably maybe in a different position. So give us a transmission as we actually look at that very radio.
Okay. Yeah, I have a gander. This is the actual radio you're at. 11 tubes, if I remember correctly, and I may not, but 23 channels. It is the future, because here we are. We're actually in the future, and talking about the past. I don't know. I don't know. Does it have that retro futuristic kind of look? I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to pin down. It doesn't really have that atomic age kind of thing going on, but it does. It is very 70s.
It is very 70s. I would say it's sort of modified utility. I mean, it has the classic look. I put the S meter on, so if you ever watch the video back, you can see you're 5/9. So it's modified utility. What they did is they took what I think is a utility kind of look, and then they dolled it up with the inserts, the color inserts on the knob, and the stripe across the front. It's not like a Lafayette Comstat 25. You know, that's sort of the basic thing. They put the lights on it. It looks pretty. So you could convince people that, you know, maybe we could move this, you know, back in 1972. Maybe we could move the radio into the living room, you know, instead of having it out in the garage. It's like, you know, and it's got the way you have it with the stand or the mobile mounting bracket. So it sounds good. It looks good. Nice, smooth audio. So let's see. When was the other one? I guess the MT1 was on the T123 with a Magic Eye. But we're also getting some thumbs up from those that really appreciate the green radios. Over.
Oh, that's nice. I like the green radios too. There seems to be so few of them, but they're kind of a nice change, you know, from the charcoal grays and blacks and chrome and stuff. There seems to be an awful lot of that. But these, I guess Robin was trying to do something different. They had this one, the green, and they had the yellow bird. Did anybody put out a red radio?
You know, I'm thinking there's got to be a red radio somewhere. Pierce Simpson was very colorful with what they had. I'll have to check, but the green radio is working good. We'll call it radio number 1 at, let's see, we started this about 9:03 Pacific Standard Time. Cliff is on the Robin T123 Bravo. Let me see if I've got the info on that. I believe that is the Panasonic chassis that was built from 1972 to 1976 that was shared with a lot of radios, and the only reason they stopped is because in 1976, of course, is when the FCC says, yes, you can have your 40 channels. And so the 23 channels radios became immediately obsolete. No one wanted them.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Can I ask you a question about this? What year was the 123B made? Do you have any idea?
My Rolodex notes are showing that chassis from 1972 through 1976. 12-volt DC, 115-volt AC operation, as you well know, 11 tubes, 2 transistors, which is probably for the DC conversion on the mobile part, and it comes in at a whopping 17 pounds. Over.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, next time I'll probably, I will check this in mobile at some point. I'm at the sitting position out here in the backyard presently, but this particular radio does go mobile, and I will do that in future episodes. Okay, thanks for letting me check it in, and we'll see you next time.
All right, very good. As Paul says, old radios are like old cars. They get more attractive over time. I wish humans could say that all the time. X4000 is in, worn, soiled, and obsolete. I know that. I could run to the library and get the book to which he is referring. Great audio, of course, because it's 12AX7 in the modulator. And what is the output tube on that? I can't tell. I can't tell. 6BQ5, maybe, something like that. Radio number 1, the Robin T123B. And if you were able to check out the last radio, that is the radio on which, the picture of that is on which Cliff is checking in tonight. Let me say, without further ado, hi, Paul. Step up into the air chair, and we'll see what's happening for radio number 2. Hello, Paul. Over.
Hello, Dennis. General Radio Telephone, Super MC9.
Oh, we do not get many of the 8s and 9s. The 11s, of course, are big business here. So let me go through the Rolodex and see if I can't come up with... And knowing how this works, it might even be one of your One of your radios. Okay. The Rolodex is not working for me here. Delete from cache. Clear a cache. Well, anyway, go ahead and give me a transmission. I'll see if I can't find a shot of that. I know we've got it.
Yeah, I know it's in there. Anyway, this radio was manufactured in 1966. It's a 10-tuber, 24-channel radio. It has a Civil Air Patrol crystal in it, believe it or not, which I haven't seen very often. That's 26620. And I think that's the first one I have. You got a good picture of it right there. That's the radio I'm talking on right now. Got that big old microphone. It's a heavy microphone. That's a General Ceramic microphone, CM2, factory stock. It's very heavy. Zinc alloy, die cast, and satin chrome. Made by Turner. Back to you.
Putting in some good audio, General Radio Telephone. They don't need fancy microphones and stuff to sound good. From the collection of Paul back out in the days when there was flora and fauna around there. I think we're getting rain deficient again, so hopefully we're not coming. There's the shot and the first Super MC9 series. Now there's utility. We were talking about the Robin. Now, there's a utility-looking radio. It's even got the rack handles like you would mount it in an equipment rack. No colors except the dial. The dial's got a green background, but making it look like it should communicate, which is what it is doing. The Super MC9, I'm looking to see if I've got a tube complement on that. Yes, I do. That's 10 tubes, so that's actually one tube less than the TR3 or than the T123B, but still working quite well. Give us another transmission.
Okay, I know what we discussed this. This is the first time they had the ECL 800 tube in the radio. This is one they come up with. They have an AB modulator, push-pull, and this is the first General to have the bandpass filter on the thing. Channel more or less on the receive. The Super was 8. I think this should have been the Super, but this is also a Super. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, Super. 10 tubes. I'm looking at, the V8 phase inverter modulator ECLL 800. I think, did that have a 12AX7 in the mic, for the mic preamp? 6AL11 in the master oscillator buffer, so they were working, trying to get things loud like the Brownings and the Trams, and I think they succeeded pretty well. Looking good and sounding good on the old tube radio network tonight from General Radio Telephone. I'll put up the S meter again. We'll go back to you and give you a signal report.
Okay, well, they changed the grill on the thing. This kind of had the old style grill on the thing. They got a modern looking one now. It's cut mirror into the metal type thing. It isn't got the what do you call it, the cover on the tube, on the speaker. But this one is cut into the metal. So that's quite a change. It looks more modern now. Back to you.
No, I guess for the day, for, what did you say, 19... When are those? I don't have a date on when those were out. Late 60s, probably. It was a good radio. The prices on the Generals, I think the Generals had the best pricing of anybody. They had the most economical pricing for big radios. You know, the earlier ones weren't all 23 channels. Crystal controlled, but they were still in the $200 range when radios were getting up into $400. So. Beautiful downtown Burbank, you are experiencing the General Radio Telephone Super MC9, one of the ones that would definitely break through the skip pileups back in the day. Back to you for transmission, Paul. Thanks for bringing it by.
Okay. Thanks for checking it in, Dennis. Yes, sir.
Thanks for bringing it by. I neglected to, I should say, see who our sponsor is tonight for the tube radios and the pocket protector pen tonight. It is brought to you by RCA and Whirlpool. There is no telephone number or anything. This is a very expensive pen. It is heavy. It feels like it's salted. I don't know if it's stainless steel or what it is here. It says Quick Point Scripto. Oh, no wonder it's a Scripto pen. So the RCA Whirlpool people did not pull any punches here in giving you the good stuff. So I will don that into the pocket protector tonight. As I say, we are looking for radio number 3. And who knows, maybe this pen is as old as the last radio that checked in. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, something that happens every Saturday evening, most Saturday evenings here for the last 35 years, going on 36, I guess, here in Central California, where we kind of hang out and talk about and discuss and key up on the old tube radios from the era of Class D from 1958, 59 to, well, they're still going, but the tube radios stopped at about 1978, and those are the vintage that you will hear. And Gunter is in. Hello from DK Land, and I want to take just a moment to discuss a few things that I found out last week. And Gunter, if you're listening, I didn't hear you, but I heard the station talking to you. It's a good friend of mine, NC4L, Mal, who is in Hollywood, Florida, and runs a net on the weeknights on, I think it's 7.188. He's also the guy that rebuilds these FT102s, and I have sent a couple to him. And I heard him send out your call and talk to you, and this could have been Monday or Tuesday, I don't remember. And he was having trouble copying you, but he gave you good reports on your audio. And I'm thinking, I know that guy. That's good. And then I realized something else, why you have the one nice voice. And I remembered another friend of mine, and a friend of yours as well, Bill, W2ONV, who I used to listen to a long time ago on 14178. And you often hear me sometimes say the word over. And that came from ONV himself. That came from Mr. Salerno himself. So when you hear me say that over, and I don't say it like Bill did, over, with his, I think he ran a Neumann U87. That is the microphone we run at the FM station. It's about $3,000. But I remember W2ONV, and then when I saw your call, I realized what you had done. So anyway, good evening to you. And I didn't hear you on 40, but somebody did, so it's possible. Yeah, live from studio, from Saddleback. That's right, live. I can't do the Bill voice. Live from Studio B, and I saw his call is still up. That his son has kept the call going on. So anyway, yeah, definitely. Sounding good, and hope to hear you somewhere. And check into that 7188. Mal likes he likes the good audio stations. So Delta Kilowatt 5, one nice voice. Thanks for checking into the Old Tube Radio Network and bringing back some great memories. I checked my logbook. I know I talked to Bill. I used to listen a lot, but I didn't see him in my log. But you could always hear him with that great audio. All right, I digress. The Old Tube Radio Network, we are looking for radio number 3.
37. 45.
All right, we've got Chris step up into the air chair. Mr. Go Boy, you will be next, radio number 3 at 9:21. And Paul will catch you in a moment for radio number 4. Hello, 37.
And hello, Dennis, and hello, Paul up on the hill. It's going to be out 37 here. We are going to check in our general radio telephone, the Super MC11A. This is the 24-channel version of all those anyway. And we're running this here with the original stock microphone. Over.
So we head up a few years, the MC9. I don't believe there was an MC10. There was the Super MC11. And then, I guess, fixing some issue with the 11, came out the Super MC11A, and that's the radio that you're hearing Christopher transmitting on. Sounding good, and yes, indeed, it also has the ECLL 800 in the, and that's a V6. The other radio was a V8, and I noticed this actually has only 9 tubes. So somehow they figured out how to take out one of the tubes and make it sound even better. Over.
Well, they have ways to do all kinds of things I look at, but I am not complaining. This is doing what it's supposed to be doing, and you know, it's swinging quite a bit. Yeah, I'm doing 5 and hitting 20, and that's barefoot.
Yeah, it's tuned up right. And a lot of people want to say, well, the radio might be able to key down at 7 or 8 or 9, and then the audio is going to suffer. And that radio will do that. It's got the plug in the back where you can probably strap it up to 12 or 15 watts, but I've heard it done before, and the audio suffers greatly. And that's what people are hearing. They're not, the people listening in on the internet and stuff, they're hearing this really raucous audio. And then let's see, when I put on the S meter, they're thinking, yeah, the guy's 40 over, and it's like 5 dB over S9. Good sound. Give us another transmission.
Okay, I thank you very much. I will try to get back with another one. I'm getting ready to snack on something here. You had me thinking of popcorn and stuff like there, so I'm eating a burrito in a minute.
Okay. Well, I think we've got some popcorns listening here tonight, and you're 5 over 9 and modulating up to 10 over 9. Radio number 3 at 921, the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. And there is, let me go back to the big picture here. There is, the radio might be utility. Actually, it's pretty nice with the copper or the bronze front, and it does have that when you turn it on. You got to turn it on. It comes alive with that beautiful green dial. Thanks for bringing it by.
You betcha, Dennis.
And the old Tube Radio Network jingle singers are, they're ready, but we want, Paul is up in the queue. Paul is stepping up in the air chair here. So, hello, 45, over.
Yeah, Dennis, checking in my Lafayette Comstat 35.
Okay, let me take a look at the 35. I was talking about the 25 being a utility radio. I hope we have a Rolodex of the 35. I think we do. Is that the one that has... No, the 25B has the funky knob on that. Oh, so does this one. All right, there it is. It's got the... Bozo Control. I got a boom shadow, don't I? Bozo Control used to really love this radio with that sort of... proboscis-looking channel dial. And this radio is getting a little bit more, it's almost like a wood grain case, trying to get a little bit less utility. Back to you for transmission.
Yeah, that's got a redder than mine. Mine's kind of got a bit orange in it, but it's still got a red nose on the front. Anyway, this kind of like the last radio trick here. It's kind of blank space in there for an extra channel. I guess they could put a civil control in there, but it didn't have it. This has a normal control with a range boost on the thing. I don't know whether the range boost works or not. I'll put it down, see if it made any difference. Seems like it dropped it, put it back on. Yeah, it made quite a difference on the thing. Yeah, it looks like a meter did. Does that make kind of difference?
It's still good. Just keep going.
Okay. Seems like it's swinging a little bit more with it on the high boost on the thing. Other than that, it's just a neat old radio, I'll tell you that. They made a good radio back then, and the Koreans built this thing. Normally these things, they get them, Japan did it for Panasonic, but Korea built this and they did a real good job on the thing. Yeah, it's got a range boost M6B power handheld power microphone on that thing. And it will also take a turn of +3, which would be kind of a bonus for this thing, I think. But anyway, I'll just back to you.
It's good audio. I didn't hear much change when you flip the switch, so maybe it's stuck in the on position because it seems to have plenty of audio, and it has the good low fidelity, which is typically what happens when you put onto the range boost. A lot of the digital SWLs are saying you've got some decent audio and sounding good tonight. Hello to Bass Snoopy, who's also tuning in, listening in digitally from Montreal, Canada. We're here in Fresno, California. Paul is to the north and east of me, up in the foothills of North Fork, maybe 30 miles or so away, beaconing down on tonight the Lafayette Comstat 35, which I'm going to say probably was their Lafayette's last tube radio. Over.
It could be. I don't know for sure. Possibility. Anyway, they made the good radios. They made a lot of the radios in the beginning and got better and better up to the so they were classy radio. Just like everything went out when the tubes went out, kind of so to speak. Anyway, that's about it, and I appreciate you checking it in.
Hey, I appreciate you bringing it by so that I could check in. Showing the tube complement, 11 tubes, made in Korea, Panasonic chassis. A lot of 6-volt tubes, 12AX7, and a 12AT7, 6BQ5, a couple of 6BQ5s. I think they did that for the audio. And it does sound good here on the old Tube Radio Network for Radio 4. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you.
And then the jingle singers who are stepping up to the microphonium and will remind us who it is, what it is, where it is that we are listening to tonight on your old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, your favorite spot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
And the Old Tube Radio Network is listening for radio number 5. Looking over the audience here tonight, up in the balcony, I think that's where all the popcorn is tonight. Our station listening in from Jan Verreken. I still don't know how to pronounce that properly, but the Jan Verreken is listening tonight from Wales. Let's see, the 15 things to do. Here it is. If you ever find yourself on the coast of Wales, let's see if it's going to come up there. Attractions in Jan Verreken, and it won't load. There must be so many people that want to get to these attractions that it won't go. I know there's a golf course there, the beach, the Morpha Albert Nature Reserve, the paddling pool, the Virginia Inn. That sounds. I bet they paid to have that one in there. If you're a golfer, it looks like a great golf course there. The Nant Ecoed Local Nature Reserve Walk. I would like that. And the Afghair Arms. So lots of stuff to do. Thanks for spending some time with us here in the Old Tube Radio Network. We are listening for radio number 5. Hey, jump on in. They're still saving some popcorn for you over in the green room. You've got Radio 500. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this is the one that I had. It's kind of a weird deal with this radio. I think this is registered in another name, but mine is an Aircastle 23-02.
Wow, all right, let me go. I never get to go to the A's in the Rolodex. I'm always up with the Trams and the Robins. I get to the B's with the Brownings. Let's see what we've got for Aircastle. And what was the model number again, over?
Okay, it's an Aircastle 23-02.
All right, 23-02. I do see a listing. Let's see if there is some video. Yeah. There it is. You know what that looks like? Let me put that up there. That reminds me of the Fannin Fanfare, which I think was the Courier 23, which I bet that's what this is, the Aircastle. And I think, off the top of my head here, the Aircastle was, Sears had their models they did, JCPenney did. I think Aircastle might have been associated with Montgomery Ward's. There's the Aircastle. Nice audio. If it is the Courier chassis, which I think it is. Take a transmission over.
Okay, number 135, Chris, he has one on, you read it on your web there. It's a different, it's the same radio, got a little different flow on the thing, but I really don't think there's any difference inside it. It's got a red light in the middle with modulation type light, and it's normal controls on the thing. It's a neat old radio, I'll tell you. This is made by Fanfare. It's Spiegel catalog. Sam's 338, and it's a really nice looking old radio. I'm trying to think of something else I was going to see it on the thing. Anyway, back to you.
That's right, the Spiegel catalog, as Steve Allen used to say, Spiegel, Chicago, Illinois, 60609. I remember that on his TV show. Back to the 11 tubes, and you are right, it's Fannin Courier. That is who makes this. It's a Fannin Courier, and that's what I believe the Cliff's radio is. It's a Fannin Fanfare or Fannin something. It's like an XM23. It's the radio that I almost bought. The radio I almost bought back in 1970 or 71, and I went to Radio Shack and got the Navajo. Well, doggone it. It was a good set, but little did I know. Back in high school when I just didn't know, when I knew nothing about tubes. 6BQ5s, yeah, the usual stuff. I don't see a 12AX7 in this, but it's got the good audio. Let's see, 23 channels, modulation light, and there is a switch. I'm going to do the close-up here. There's a switch on the right-hand side, PA and CB. All right. So it doesn't look like it has a range boost, and I see a switch under the meter, which is probably for some meter stuff. It's working good. I see you've got a band spread, so probably a fine tune on the receive. Should have some good audio with that front fire speaker. Back to you.
Okay, well, I'll tell you, I'm running my favorite Turner Plus 3 microphone thing, so that has a bearing on the sound on the thing. I love those mics. They make some of the radio sound even better. I don't know what your preference is on Turners or whatever. They are my favorite mic. Anyway, that's about it. I appreciate you checking it. By the way, the one that you had running on your web, I told you had a different grill pattern in the thing. But I believe it's the same radio. It'd be interesting to kick that back and see if there's any change on the thing other than the grill being whole or flattened out and cut. Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, let me check the Rolodex while I have this one up here. I can't do a simultaneously and at the same time photo match, but I think it was Fannin. All right. And I'm going to go to the Fannin Courier. I'm going to go to the Fannin Fanfare XM2300. If it will come up. Boom. And there it is. Okay, yeah, look at that. It's green. Chris, you got a green radio. You got a bonus radio here. It's not even checking in, but there it is. There's the channel 11, right, the thing, the mod light. It's almost exactly like that, except it's green as opposed to the, I don't know, what is that, copper gold color on the other thing. I see a headphone jack that I didn't notice before, so let me go back in time to the Aircastle, and we'll just leave this on the page, and I'll just directly see if I can go to that. But the Aircastle is, I don't see any difference, really, except for the coloring. And the 23, you're taxing my memory here. Oh, and there's also a JE321, but I think that's different. But let me go back to the one that you're on, the 2302. We'll pop that in, and there you go. Yeah, it's just different colors on the front and the name, over.
Yeah, exactly. They punched them out, quite a few of them. Well, they sold quite a few different people from Spiegel, and they had a lot of other big old not manufacturers, but stores that they sold these radios in. It's interesting. It was classic radio for back then. Thanks for checking it in, Dennis.
All right, thanks for bringing it by. I always like some good stuff. Good evening. I should say good morning to Uncle Gunter, who is going to be showing up on the Early Birds net. So get on your SDR radio on 80 meters. I don't know what the frequency is, but he's got a great station. The 1-9 voice of Wiesbaden. And yeah, it was cool. Gunter, it was cool hearing you, Mel, talking with you. I fell off my radio chair when I said ONV. I said, I know that guy. He's a good guy. All right. Thank you, Paul. The Aircastle 2302, adding another 11 tubes into the mix. Back to you for a transmission, and thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you, Dennis.
The Old Tube Radio Network. Let me do the Jingle Singers. They would like to do something here, and then let's see. I've got a couple of items to touch on, and then, of course, we will be looking for radio number 6 on your Old Tube Radio Network.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. Wherever you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
The station for you and you and you, and thanks for tuning in. 27085, our local stations that take time out from their weekend happenings and jump into the Radio Shack to share the radios with all of us. And then, of course, our stations at oldtuberadio.net and on the YouTube frequency out there watching and listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks, Charlie, for the link to Bill's site. If I remember, because they had some pictures. I remember seeing pictures of him, and he was always, like, impeccably dressed. He was dressed like this all the time, except that his suit probably had, 4 buttons on it instead of 2 and cost thousands of dollars more. I remember him having pictures with celebrities as well. So I can't say that you will see me with any celebrity pics. And John says his dad was an RCA Whirlpool dealer. So maybe he got, maybe that was the deal. Maybe he got one of these cool pens from RCA and Whirlpool. It's a nice Scripto. Does it right? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. It's a twist. You know what? Maybe this is a mechanical. Wait a minute. I can't tell. Nothing's happening. I don't want to break it. That's why I would never get one of these, because I don't even know how to work it. This might actually be because it's a really thin. I bet this is a mechanical pencil rotating. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. So I don't want to break it. It's too nice. Looking for radio number 6. And let's see, who was in? Big Daddy. 26, if I didn't say hello to you, hello. Thanks for joining the Old Tube Radio Network here tonight. And X4000 said, "Don't break the mechanical pencil." What is the official name of that? Is that what they're called? It says you never know when a mechanic might need it. I'm not sure. Oh, it pulls apart. Yeah, it is. There's an eraser. So that top probably pulls off. I bet there might be some lead in there. I just don't want to break it. This is really nice. It's the nicest pen I've got. All of a sudden, it's sitting in my pocket protector. OTR looking for Radio 6. There's a stack of radios. Those are the Metrotech space stations. There's Space Executive Star phones. I don't know whose collection this is from. This is off the old Tube Radio CB network website. I do not believe that we have ever had in the 35 years any of those check in. They're pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having one. And here's was it 6 of them stacked in a row? Space Force, right? But maybe that'll be our goal in 2021. Is to see if we can't get the space star space phone Metrotech whatever it is to check in here tonight, or at least this year. And I wonder if that really is a wood case. And I think it is. Solid wood case. And here is the new acquisition, Super MC11A. And that is from a collection of Zod Schwabe. There's a great shot of the MC3 microphone. It's got the little circular, I guess they call it meatball logo with the G General and the CM3. And that is the MCA because it's got the GRT logo. And that's what that is. That's when you ever hear Chris refer to the old man in the wheelchair. What he's referring to, let me get a close-up, is that GRT logo between the channel selector and the S meter. OTR standing by for Radio 6.
How about this one?
That sounds 6-y. Yeah, go ahead. Over.
I can do it that way. Same one as last time. The S9 and R2700 combination by Browning with the unamplified D104 microphone. On the general Super MC11/A, Sam, wait, am I feeding back? Uh-oh. Hey, Dennis, am I feeding back?
Yeah, you said it was unamplified mic, and I'm thinking, man, it's just I can hear the background audio and all sorts of things, and yes, it's feeding back. It's almost like you have an amplified mic that's up way too high.
Okay. Huh. Well, you know, I don't see the feedback. Yeah. Well, maybe I can't turn anything down. It's an unamplified mic. But anyway, now, let's see. You might be hearing feedback from the iPad type thing I have over here.
Well, I hear the audio. It should be delayed, so that shouldn't be getting feedback. You might get an echo loop, but if you're, 10-second delayed, it won't be that annoying. I found an old ad from with the R27. It's the R2700A is what they're showing, and then the Browning S9. It says it's the greatest pair on the air for CBers who demand the very best, and I know that you do. Over.
Okay. Yeah, usually the modulation meter would show if I was feeding back. And it's stuck on the bottom, so. Anyway, this is what I'm stuck with for right now. On the MC11/A, the difference in the model seems to be the crystal setup. Local oscillator, 11 to 12 megahertz range in the 11A, and 23 megahertz in the 11, and the transmit oscillator, 1.728 in the 11A and 3.456 in the 11. That seems to be the difference, other than the old man on the front.
All right, yeah, the oscillation is down. It's pretty much gone, and I can hear the audio in the background, but it's not bad. There is the actual Browning S9. I changed the picture. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I correct that it is 6 channels?
Let's see. Yeah, 6 channels. Let's see if I'm feeding back now. I'm turning things down because the little helper is variable. Okay. Yep, I can still hear it in the playback. Of course, I can turn it off like this, but then you might not be able to hear me. Let's see if you can still hear me. Let's see. Now, you can still hear me. Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah. Now I can see some feedback. Now, I'll have to figure out what that is. And fix that puppy.
This is the Fix That Puppy frequency. When you turned down the Harvey range booster, backed it off, again, it wasn't oscillating that much. That helped a little bit. You started to have a lot of forward modulation, so it gets that sort of, I'll say, suppressed carrier sound to it, but the audio was still good. And then when the Harvey range boost took a hiatus, then the oscillation was back. So it's actually in the radio. So I don't think that the item, it could be causing it, but it is amplifying it when it's there over.
Yeah, I can see it. I'll work on it and see what I can do. Anyway, I'll be standing by then.
All right, but I hear you just fine either way. Of course, you're a little bit more full quieting. The signal-to-noise ratio is a little bit more signal and less noise, but I hear you both ways on the on radio number 6, the 23S9. And for all things considered, that is really kind of a basically plain radio, although it does have an S meter, which was, a lot of the early radios did not. And I guess it was fairly reasonably priced in the days of Browning, but it has a nice, I'm assuming those are still the old plate modulation, so you can't beat the audio. Thanks for bringing it by, and it is playing. You'll hear the replay, so maybe a little peek and tweak from in the shop, and you'll have it over.
Yep. Yeah, I can see the oscillation. I can see it. Okay. I might be back later if I can fix it. We'll see.
All right, we might be here later. We got another at least 10 minutes or so here on the Old Tube Radio Network, listening for your radios and items. I want to say hello to Richard SWL78, who says it sounds like RF feedback. Yeah, sort of. I mean, when he's just running the radio, it's still in there, but maybe the audio is just a little bit too much. So we get Richard checked in 78 from Wildemar. You're kidding, 85 degrees at the ranch. There's something, I'm actually not too surprised about that, because I'm a Southern California transplant, and I always enjoyed leaving the Central Valley for especially like the spring or the winter breaks, the Christmas breaks at school, and then heading back down to Southern California, where Christmas is always sunny and 74, and it's like, let's walk down to the beach and watch the surfers. So I can believe 85 in January. We got you checked in. And the singers of jingle. I think that's how Phil would say it, 56 would say it. The singers of jingle are ready to do it again.
Let's do some spelling.
OTR. 27.085 megahertz. Channel 11, Old Tube Radio. Old Tube Radio.
All right, they're having a little problem getting the things change. Just looking at the audio, and my negative peaks are coming up, so I may have to turn some dials and crank some knobs here on the Old Tube Radio Network, looking for radio number 7.
How's this, Dennis? A little better?
Is that the same radio? Or different? That's got to be a different radio.
Yeah. Same radio. No, same radio.
Oh, really good. I've got the big S meter on display. So you've got the forward modulation. It's a little over S7 up to 8. That's obviously without the Harvey's range boost that cleaned the audio greatly. It sounds great.
Well, might be the mic plug. And a slight bit of tuning. On the next transmission, I'm going to have the range boost on and see what happens.
Okay, what I'll do, I'll just leave it on the screen here, and I will say hello to 44, late check-in. Yeah, I thought I saw 360 on the old radio night, and I figured he had places to be, things to do. But back here on the Old Tube Radio Network, before closing time, I've got you checked in over.
Are you back to me or 44?
We are back to you. Over.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hello. Alrighty. Hello. Little bit of tuning here and there. I don't have it perfect. But then, considering how I've got all this stuff set up, I should be grateful that it's working. Anyway, there we go. Now the meter is dead on the bottom when I'm not talking. So there should be very little feedback. Okay?
Yeah, brought the audio up. There is something, but it's not the type of feedback. I can hear the stream in the background now, but I don't think that's causing it. So I think you are correct. You're just on the verge of almost, but the range boost gives it a little more signal to noise, of course. So, but it definitely does not have the massive feedback the way you started earlier.
Yeah. That ping, that was real trashy, that I would get sometimes. That was an indicator of it, but I was hoping it wasn't what it was, and it turned out to be. Okay, I won't be able to do any work on this stuff for at least another 2 weeks. So I'm still working every day, so except Sundays. Believe it or not, I have Sundays off, and that's when I get everything else done around here. So, but no radio work. So I'll have to wait on that, I guess. Okay, sounds good, like a radio should, I hope, and we'll be back to you.
Yeah, I'm glad they're giving you a day off. Yeah, Brownings sound good, like a radio should. Thanks for bringing by Radio 6. It definitely did. The little P and T you did definitely helped with the audio anomaly. And the audio still sounds good.
You heard that little bit at the end of the ping. 100% American radio.
Yeah, except for that time where it's actually trying to come back.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, trying to come back. Okay. Anyway, I'll turn it back to you. Enough said on this one.
All right, as they say, coolness, thanks for your check-in.
Maybe that's a cue for a late check-in for roll call from the Radio Lounge.
Or a cue for a check-in at 9:59, whatever time this is, Pacific Standard Time, as I'm checking my numbers here. And I think I was just on your page. So let me add another. We had 17 SWLs, and I now believe that we have 18 as I check in the item known as SWL 47. Hello, radio.
All right. Well, thank you. I guess late is better than not at all. For your listening pleasure, as always, a Robin with the Magic Eye, Robin T123.
All right, perfect addition, because we had the later Robin T123 Bravo. The Magic Eye fans will be pleased, and I think, is that a green radio as well? The green radio fans will be pleased. Let me bring up the T123B in the queue here. Yeah, there's enough green on that. Perhaps, you can't get too much of a good thing, although Mitch says too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Over.
All right, well, I don't know if you're flashing up a picture of a 123B, but since you said 123B, I'll check in a 123B as well. That's two very quick Robins because it's 10:01. That was the 123 with the Magic Eye, and now it's a 123B as in Bravo with no Magic Eye, unfortunately.
I could tell you played the old switcheroo because I tell from your audio, but the photo, the shot that we have now is the T123B with the, I guess it's the 6RE13 tube with the little slot cut out so you can watch the tube, and I think I can magically switch over to and I'll do a different photo. We'll do the one with the box, the photo it's got the radio on the box, and there's the T123B. And I'll go through the same thing I did, because when we got the earlier T123B, in fact, that was our first radio from Cliff. I read what the box says. Had you purchased that with the original box, which you may or may not have done, you will know that it says it's a 5-watt, 23-channel Citizen Band transceiver, the looks and performance of tomorrow by the designers and engineers of today. Over.
Ooh, that's a really good comment. I don't know how to rebound from that one. There was some sort of an attraction in Tomorrowland at Disneyland
many years ago when when Disneyland was still open. I actually do remember going to that as a kid, and they had like all these, you're basically supposed to step into it, this particular attraction, and you were supposed to see what life was supposed to look like. I don't remember what year they were aiming for, but it's kind of like something like stepping into a live set from the Jetsons. I don't remember seeing anything that looks, well, even remotely to this radio. Not to diss Disneyland, but I don't remember seeing anything that looked like this. But it does look good. It definitely would have been appropriate there, and I don't think this particular radio would have been mounted in a George Jetson, whatever speed buggy, whatever it was that he was flying around in.
Yeah, those would probably look more like the Pierce Simpson radios that they did, a little more modernistic. But this one works well. Paul says that the Yellow Robin ain't no slouch either. I think the Yellow Robin is about the same radio with the chip to get the 40 channels rather than the 23. So, yeah, if you like yellow, you like green, no waiting. Radio 7, the Robin T123, moments ago. Radio 8, live on the Old Tube Radio Network right now, the Robin T123 Bravo. Thanks for these old switcheroo.
Break 11.
Okay, thanks for letting me check it in. I know that there's someone else that I think is trying to key in there. I just have a quick question because this particular one does have the range expand. And, being that it's 2021, I'm thinking range expand. I wonder if that's kind of false advertising. I don't know if, maybe you can comment on exactly what this knob does. The range expand is on right now just for an experiment. I'm going to turn off right now. And the only thing I can really see from my end, the modulation lamp isn't doing anything. Unless I switch the range expand back on. So I don't know if is it legitimate or is it just a boost in audio quality?
All right, and breaker acknowledged. And if we were arguing this in court, I would want that exact radio. I would want that exact radio in front of the judge because you sort of proved the point because there is such a drastic difference. So the range expand, if you are in the noise, if you are in the mud, you're like signal to noise and it's 50-50 signal noise, the range expand in its normal form is probably going to make you be heard better. Is expanding your range? I don't know. I mean, you're still talking to the same guy, but it brings you out of the noise. However, the way yours is set up, I can't even hardly hear you when you turn it off. So indeed, it is expanding your range, and I'm sure that anybody farther out would say, huh, what? So, and if you do have a little bit of forward carrier movement, then of course, more modulation, more towards 100%, is going to give you a little bit more power output. So I think we can safely say the range expand is probably glorified, but in this case, not a misnomer. Over.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, and I think at one point in time you had mentioned that this radio might have been set up or tuned for some sort of an amplified mic, which I'm not on right now. I've just got the what looks to be the stock handheld mic that's not amplified. Looks great. I mean, the plastic is not really scratched up at all, to be honest with you, and it looks super shiny and brand new. But it's not brand new. But anyways, on that, thanks for letting me check both these Robins in. They're both quite enjoyable to use and to look at and all that good stuff. So thanks, I appreciate it. And on that, I'm going to send it back to you and give that other gentleman a chance to check in. So 73, thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Yeah, I'm sure that somebody must have had a microphone turned all the way up and had it adjusted for that because there's almost no audio when it's there, but it's barely limitless. So the range expand is your friend, and it actually sounds good the way it is. You probably don't need amplified microphone for that. It's perfect for your voice. I can't remember, you said you may have to talk louder into that one, which you don't like to do, but you are modulating it well. The Old Tube Radio Network, let me call, there was a breaking station perhaps. Let me get in my best, because it is the NAQP. Let me get my best contest voice. Mike Alpha Romeo Kilowatt, go ahead.
Hello, Dennis. Hey, 70 late check-in, please. And the range expander, I guess he was turning it down as he was talking, because I heard him about a signal of about a 3 out here with a bunch of noise, and then he just went away. So for whatever that's worth in the Morgan Canyon. Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, back to you, over.
Yeah, prove the point. If you're in the noise and the only thing kind of bringing you out is your, detecting the audio, and then your audio goes away. Well, that's a range expand. I've got you checked in, looking good. Are you doing any contesting, whether it be in the low frequencies or the high frequencies of the U or the V or the HF this weekend, over?
I have not. I've been working outside on the gate and some other stuff. I might play around with it tomorrow. I'm going to try to plan to get out and do a overnight and for Winter Field Day. Winter Field Day is I think the last weekend of this month, so I'm going to try to get out for that one, over.
Sounds good. I don't think I heard anybody on the VHF UHF contest band except for that question that actually came through in the air, and you can give them your location live. The station that was on the Robin says, what is the location of that gentleman? So I'll let you tell him.
The who, what? Oh, sorry.
Your location, the station that was on the Robin. You mentioned that it was S3. He was inquiring about where is your location, just so he can kind of have an idea of where you are. So he was, as you were listening.
Okay. Well, let's see. We're Delta Mike 7, or Morgan Canyon, or Prather. One of those three. We're all three.
So there you go. Not around the block for sure. Sounding good. Oh, the other thing I always make you stay and ask questions. Have you ordered your? Well, actually, you're an Elecraft guy, but I'm thinking, aren't you looking at that 705 and thinking, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, I'm mostly ICOM and Elecraft. I've got a couple Kenwood stuff, but I've looked at it, but the last thing I need right now is another radio. So no, I looked at it. It's neat, but for what I do, I would need, I think, to bring along a lot of batteries plus a tuner. Right? There's no auto tuner in it.
Oh, I don't know. There might not be. I know it has its battery, it's like the battery pack in the back, but I guess you're right. Was it 10 watts or 5 watts? So you might need something. So all right, I haven't heard one yet, and you know how they are a bit pricey. So you're good. You got everything you need. You just need to get out there and use it. I know how that is.
Oh yeah. No, all the stuff that's on it is cool, but I can't imagine that the battery life must be horrible if you're using all that stuff. But again, if you're talking about the newer little ICOM, right? The little portable ICOM.
Yeah, I think it's the 705, and I'm going to say it's 10 watts, 5 watts, something like that, but it's kind of set up for portable.
Yeah, it's 5 or something with their battery pack, and then if you use an external with, like a LifePro or whatever, you can get 10 out of it, which is similar to the K3 and the K2. Now, I really like the K2, K2X, I guess. KX2, that's it, KX2. But, if it dropped out of the sky and fell in my lap, I would play around with it, but I don't have any intention to go out and purchase one right now anyway.
Okay, and we have you on tape saying that. So when you purchase one, if somebody complains, you're in trouble. Also, John says that they just came out with a tuner for the 705, but like you said, if it's an external thing, that's one more thing to try and stuff in the backpack with the pole and all that stuff. Mark, who we're chatting with now, does some really cool portable things and is given some talks, and maybe even an article or two in, I don't know, QST or somewhere about that very same thing. So thanks for chatting with us tonight, and you are actually sounding really good tonight.
As are you, Dennis. Thanks very much, and thanks very much for the net, the whatever it is. It's not really net, is it? But anyway, thanks for everything you're doing, man.
You've described it perfectly. We've been doing this for 35 years, and we don't know what it is. Actually, it is what we used to say, I'm going to read it right off here. The Old Tube Radio Network is not a club. This was written like 35 years ago. The Old Tube Radio Network is not a club, but a voluntary association of people interested in old tube radios. We welcome anyone to participate. And I think that's a good explanation. Catch you later. And counting and amounting and the last calls for check-ins and roll call and 23s could do. Somebody else asked us, what happened to the D201 and all the other stuff in the background? I was putting in ground wires and all the stuff was in the way and I was having RF, so I took, you know how it is, you take everything out. And then I put back the stuff that I have to have to transmit. And the other radios haven't made it back. And I'm just not sure if that was the best place for them or if I could put one up in the shelf or what I'm going to do. But for now, that's why it's sort of bare back there. I had a Christmas tree up, but that's just like there's no tree. Now it does. It does look kind of thing. So I could probably bring them back or do something. Need an interior decorator for the Old Tube Radio Network. But they did not get sold. They are still here. They're probably down in the green room in the special secret locked up shelf. Looking for Radio 9 if we've got it and counting and amounting.
60.
Break OTR.
All right, 60. Go into the green room. We'll be right with you, Joe. I want to take up the breaker here because you probably just popped in the door. The break OTR. Go ahead.
Yes, just got into the radio room. Figure I'd better check in.
And we have you checked in. SWL7. Sounding good, and I hope the evening was good.
Yes, I brought back more than double what I left with, so it was a good night.
All right, changing your proxy check-in to an official X in the square. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, and thanks for whoever proxied me in.
And then picking up the Old Tube Radio list, because I can tell by that quality audio that there are some tubes glowing. Hello, Joe. Over.
Thank you much, Dennis. Doggone it, and yes, they are. They're glowing okay. We wanted to check in our Robin, our 123B. Cliff and I had talked earlier on the band, and he was on his 123B with a stock mic, and I told him that this particular radio here has a D104 power mic. And we talked a bit about it, but anyway, if he's out there and listening, he can hear the way it sounds. Yes, I'd like to check in my Robin 123B, 11 tubes. Dennis?
The Robins are the set to beat tonight. Our third 123B of the evening, perfectly matched for that microphone, nice and mellow. And I know the Robins can, with that Panasonic chassis, can scream a lot more than that, but you've got it into good, I'll call it rag chew quality audio, just nice and mellow, and there's no background noise coming in, so I would imagine that you are blinking the mod light decent enough to know that you are talking.
Yes, we are, doggone it. She is blinking. Not too strong. Just enough to know that we got a little bit of modulation. Since the day we hooked up this microphone to this radio, we never touched the mic no more after that. We touched nothing on it. We figured that we struck gold on it, and we'd leave it the way it is, for now anyway. But I just wanted to check it in. I know it's been kind of a sort of a Robin night, but, doggone it, we learn more each Saturday about the Robin, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate you letting me check it in, Dennis.
Hey, it is my pleasure to do that here at the Old Tube Radio Network, one of the many in that control. I even dress up for the event, pocket protector and all. And come to the party, if it will. Radio number 9, Robin T123B. What can I say? That 11 tubes is working quite nicely. 1972 to 1976. They'd probably still be making them if they wasn't stuck with 23 channels. Although with that one, I think you said you've got the mod that gives you a few extra frequencies in there, and we're glad channel 11 is one of them. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you. Yeah, we have got a few extra channels. Maybe Cliff would like to know that. I don't know how it's done, but I've got about maybe 10 extra channels in this radio. Thanks a bunch there, Dennis.
All right, and thank you. Counting them out on the old Tube Radio Network. I guess there's still time for Radio 10 if there is one around. The Jingle Singers do what they do best at the 10 o'clock hour, reminding you to, is it be modern?
You're tuned to
OTR. Channel 11.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us.
Old Tube Radio.
And be modern.
How about this one?
Do you have an item of interest for the old Tube Radio Network? Over.
Yeah, this one. Does it feedback at all?
No, it's very loud, and it's, what did number one used to say? It's crisp and clean, no caffeine.
Yeah, I can't handle caffeine. I drank a little bit too much yesterday, and I had to sit down and rest while I was working. Okay. This one is the second oldest Browning that I have. It's the Browning R2700A and Browning Compact Transmitter.
2700A and the Compact. I don't know if I got a Compact. I would like to put one of those up in my Rolodex. You know what? I don't. Oh, wait. It says that I do, but I bet there's no picture, no image available. And that's a cool item. I know I can find one, but I may be out of time for that. Interesting. Probably what? The guts of an S9, but squeezed into even a smaller package?
Yeah, probably. The S9 was the first transmitter, the R2700A, the first receiver, according to the information I have. And then the Compact, along with the T2700 series, those two, with transformer for power to plug in the wall, and the other without. This one also does not have the power supply in it. The compact transmitter, you get the power from the receiver. In fact, almost all the receivers, Browning line, you could probably figure out how to get power to the transmitter from the receiver. Wouldn't quite be enough on the, quote, newer transmitters, but all the older ones, it works. Anyway, so that's this setup here. I decided to key it up, see how much different it would sound than the S9 transmitter. This one's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 channels. On the knob, channel selector knob on the transmitter, you have like 5 channels on the right, 5 channels on the left side, and in the middle you have an external socket, and that's where channel 11 is plugged in.
You remember that would have the crystal thing right on the front. It sounds like you've got a sports thing going on in the background. It's actually the old Tube Radio Network. It sounds good. The audio is good. I'm assuming you're on the Harvey Range Boost because your signal is equal want to say it's equal, might be a little bit less actually, but it's equal to the Harvey range boost on the S9. But the audio is very good. The audio is nice and clear.
Okay, I turned the range boost off. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. Yeah. So, you certainly can use more audio, but no, it's good. It's clear. It sounds bueno.
And a shorter ping. I turned it back on because Paul, I think, can hear me when I have it on, but he can't when I have it off. So for Paul, if he's listening, I have it on. Anyway, okay, show's nearly over. Oh, you may need to proxy me in next week. Yes, I got to go do my monthly thing. It's, quote, as they say, that time of the month for me. And I might not get back in time. We'll see. So you may need to proxy me in.
Okay, I'll do that. I've been having the crossband radio kind of up in the audio stream on the simplex side. So if it's something where you get close enough and you can break my squelch, I might actually hear you in my headphoniums. Oh, before you go, I think I found a shot of the, it's not very good, unfortunately. Let me go to the extreme of the compact. There it is. A little bit blurry, but that's what he's talking about with the channel selector and the, you've got the left side, right side, was it 5 and 5? The white blob there is the external crystal socket. There's a red light, and then it looks like there's something above the crystal socket. I guess you'd put your call or something in there to remind you. I would put my name probably to remind me who I was.
That is most correct. The red light goes on when you key up and moves with the modulation. I don't believe there might be, but I'm not sure if there's a modulation gain control on the chassis. In the S9 you have it, and I set it before I put the top back on and before I had a little modulator hooked up. So technically I'd have to turn it down with the modulator and just get into the mic when it's off for the S9. But this is an unamped D104, and the S9 also has an unamped D104, but because it's the oldest Browning, the unamped D104 is one with the metal riveted tag on the base and the metal riveted tag on the head of the D104.
Good selection, good combination. Audio is good, so no problem there. Good to hear the compact, which is kind of a rare bird, I guess. Actually, it's not a bird. It's pre-bird, and it is our radio 10 tonight. So thanks for getting us into double digits. I will let you get back to the Radio Shack cleaning or whatever you were doing there. All right, last call, the Old Tube Radio Network. And then, I'm trying to prompt them over in the other studio. And then...
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
The current and final totals... Actually, we used to do that throughout the radio check-ins, but when we started, this was 3 hours that we were doing. Went to 11 o'clock. So I don't know. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Trouble staying up until 10. All right. I am looking for what shot am I? I'm looking for that shot. I don't know why. We had 10 radios tonight. In the SWL department, we had 31 And 3970, that's not a bad night. 13 on page 1, 18 on page 2, 18 on page 3, and 21 on page 4. The most heard manufacturer tonight was indeed the Robins with 4, Brownings and General radio telephones at 2, and a few others in the mix, which is always good. Started off with Mr. Green Arrow on his Robin T123. Hasn't been out of the cage for a while, but we're glad that it did stop by tonight. Then a pair of General radio telephones, the Super MC9 from Paul, Radio 2. I think he said that was the first one with the ECL 800 tube in it. And then the OTR standard, the General radio telephone Super MC11A from Chris, Radio 3. Radio 4, Paul was on the Lafayette Comstat 35, probably their last tube radio with the Panasonic chassis, made in Korea. The Aircastle 2302, the Fan and Courier clone. Very nice looking radio from Paul for Radio 4. He also brought us, Radio 5. He brought us 4 and 5. Radio 6 was the Browning S9 R2700 combination from Harvey. Then it was the Robin Triple Play, Radio 7, Mike on his Robin T123. Then he came back with Radio 8 on the 123B, and that prompted Joe to jump in and put on his very good sounding, what did I say, mellifluous. I think that is a word that ONV used to use, he and Gary. I think it was WA10XT. And Bill used to talk about that mellifluous audio, and that was certainly the way we heard it on Radio 9 with Joe. Also, Radio 10, the Browning R2700A compact combination for our list tonight. So I'll say thanks, everybody, for, I guess, staying up late, or is it early? The Old Tube Radio Network slogging our way through 2021 thanks to your help with your radios and support from the listeners as well, whether it's the DM06, DM07, Richard and DM13, or a host of others. For those of you who are far away and are radioactive, I hope to maybe catch you on the air sometimes. I do SWL, like a lot. Like I said, I heard Gunter talking to, or I heard Mal talking to the station in Germany. So you just never know. The masked SWL might be out there. Possible to maybe re-interlink some other items of interest to get some voices in here for a few minutes via Echolink or some Wires X rooms, or who knows. Anyway, got plenty of time to do that here in the upcoming year. We'll see what happens, and maybe I'll repopulate the shelf behind me. And I think it was Mitch says, I forgot Bozo is back there. He looks a little bit lonely. So we'll get him some friends. Good night, everybody, from the Old Tube Radio Network. Thanks to SearchLawrence.com and Frodex for the Nixie tubes. And we will be back next time on your Old Tube Radio Network.
Thanks, Dennis, and good night.
Dennis?
This is the basic Dennis, over.
Yeah, I've just started kind of playing with APRS. Need to learn quite a bit about it, but my first major challenge is to learn DMR. The radio I bought has DMR, and that's a certain learning curve that I'm still that mountain I'm still climbing over.
I hear you. I just picked up a radio that has APRS, and it doesn't have the DMR. I guess the DMR is the ICOM version. This has the Fusion Wires X. And the radio comes with a manual that's probably 120 pages. And then there are, I think, 5 other manuals. One for the GM mode, one for the APN mode, one for the wires mode, and one for the APRS. It has a whole nother manual for the APRS. So I basically just set it up beaconing. And beaconing, not very often, so as not to be a beacon lid. And there are all sorts of little items and protocols and messages and all sorts of things where it's like, okay, what would I use that for? And that could be handy, and has compass settings. So there are some, for somebody like us that we enjoy listening and seeing what's happening on the bands, it could be interesting. For the Fusion Wires X, that's my next thing. That's like your DMR. So the thing to do is kind of search out, and there's probably a lot of them. Well, no, there's probably a few of them. There's not a lot of anything, I notice, with this digital stuff here in town. You think with the metropolitan area of thousands or millions of people, there might be more radios, but I'm sure there's some DMR repeaters and things, so you'll be able to find that. But look for you on some of the frequencies here, and we can compare notes. Unfortunately, it's like remember Betamax and VHS, the DMR and Wires X and all that other stuff is unfortunately not compatible. Not sure why they did that, but that. I guess if there's any bad thing about that, that's what I think is kind of funky, is that all that stuff's not compatible. So good deal. All right, you and me both learning this stuff. It's just another avenue of radio, and you got to love it. Over.
Well, indeed. I haven't been able to find any DMR repeaters that I can hit, but I did buy a hotspot, and that kind of eliminates that problem right there. Anyway, Dennis, thanks. Good show.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I talked to some people already that's what they're doing with the Wires X. There happens to be a repeater I can hit. I've got my cable for the personal digital mode, so you don't need to use the radio if you want to connect to the rooms. In fact, I talked to one gentleman the other night. I connected to a room, and he was in New Zealand, and he lives on a volcano. I pulled up his QRZ page. He's one of those real avid contesters that's sort of given it up. And he's in a super great location up in New Zealand. And he was slogging up the hill with his HT, heading back to his house and running the HT into his other radio and linking into the room and linking into me. Very interesting stuff. So just another avenue. Good night, everybody, from your old tube radio network. Before I go, let's switch over to the HF radio. See if there's anybody contesting. See if I can hear anything on 40 meters. My antenna is not good for a bad band. That's where the SDR comes in. Doubt there's any contesters on.
This is Alpha Foxtrot 5 Golf Golf AF5GG standing by.
I think I heard him last night. That's 3864 on 75. That's just a generic CQ.
CQ80, CQ.
And I bet he's running a kilowatt.
Alpha Foxtrot 5 Golf Golf. Alpha Foxtrot 5 Golf Golf. Again, Alpha Foxtrot 5 Golf Golf. Standing by.
Not quite on frequency with him. That's Tim in San Antonio, Texas.
CQ.
He's going to be tuned in here.
CQ. This is Alpha Fox 5 Golf Golf AF5GG, over.
And I bet if he comes in with somebody, we won't hear who he's talking to. He said got great audio. I bet he's doing some audio processing.
Alpha Foxtrot 5 Golf Golf AF5GG standing by.
I'm pulling up his QRZ page. Yeah. He's got all sorts of audio gear. That he's running a Flex
AF5GG standing by.
With a Neumann U87. He's running a Neumann U87 microphone on a Flex.
This is Alpha Foxtrot 5 Golf Golf, over.
3864. noisy with the preamp in here. Oh my gosh, and he's got an Orban 9200.
CQ 80 meters. Here is Alpha Foxtrot 5, Golf Golf, we have 5 GG, over.
The Orban 9200 and the U87, that's probably about $5,000 right there. On a Flex.
CQ 80 meters, CQ. This is Alpha Foxtrot 5, Golf Golf, we have 5 GG, standing by.
I can hear somebody calling on there. That's the problem when you got a guy running a kilowatt, probably, and you're on 100 watts. Sometimes you just don't make it when the band ain't good. And that guy calling. Nice audio. The widest I can get is about 3K. There's another CQ from the Kilowatt Alpha 6. Anyway, that's what's going on the band tonight. There's some AM guys. 3870, not bad at 3870 AM.
Here with the RME and the Viking 2 E104 microphone. And anyway, I'll tell the history sometime. You hear me okay?
So the bands are alive and well. Good night, everybody, from your old Tube Radio Network. SWLing on the 75-meter band.
I've really struggled with my 40-meter results, and I think my main problem is local QRM. I'm getting mysterious radiation from my own house.
3857.
I think it's appliances, probably a refrigerator or something like that. We already found one device. It was a subwoofer that was creating interference, really terrible interference.
All right, and good night, everybody. Yeah, had a good time tonight. Had a good time tonight on the radio. As they say on the broadcast TV, try some of it, won't you?
To improve results on 40 meters. I tried making a 40-meter horizontal loop, tube loop, and that did work, but it did not work quite as well as my 40-meter inverted.
All right, I got to find the off button. 73, and as W2ONV would say, good night from Studio B. Over, over.